You're with Clement Manyathela.
702.
Dakota Legoete is the chairperson of Parliament's Defence Committee, joins us now on the line. Mr. Legoete, thank you so much for making time. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Clement, and to all the listeners at home.
As the Defence Committee, what's been your reaction to what seemingly has been an ignored instruction from some of the army generals, or perhaps an instruction that didn't flow at the right time to get to a point where Iran can take that observer status and not actively participate in the naval exercises? Now the SANDF says it's going to investigate what went wrong.
Yes, thank you very much, Clement. As the Portfolio Committee, we are all also concerned once again by the development within our National Defence Force, especially wherein there are allegations that an instruction from the Commander-in-Chief, who's the President of the Republic, was defied. It's very concerning, but we are pleased as the Portfolio Committee that the Minister on the 16th has issued a statement that she has established a board of inquiry which will investigate what actually happened, and upon investigation, we will summon the Minister as the Portfolio Committee to Parliament to come and account, because it clearly demonstrates that there's a breakdown of civilian-military relations, wherein some of our senior officers are not listening to members of the executive, in particular the Minister or the President, and that may create or be in contravention of Section 200, which requires us to establish the discipline force in our military. And that would be very intransigent to the spirit of the country and the Constitution, because we can't have generals or senior officials who act willy-nilly, disrespect the authority of the executive. I think we will get a full report as Parliament once the Board of Inquiry, which is established by the Ministers and Executive Authority, has given us the report and tabled it before Parliament, because we can't, as a Portfolio Committee that is responsible to defend the nation, the Republic, its people, our sovereignty and territorial integrity, allow wrong things to happen, because you will know that currently the global geopolitics are very tense.
Yeah.
And whatever we do as a nation, we must do it in the interest of our nation.
Yeah.
And anything other than that would not assist us, because some of these powerful nations, we don't even have the artillery to respond to any possible attack from their side. And I think when we act in whatever positions we have or responsibility, we must also think about ordinary South Africans in case a bomb was to land in their shots.
Yeah.
Who would have taken that particular responsibility.
Yes, and you talk about the disciplined force, because it sometimes feels like there's some ideological, leanings and positionings within the SANDF itself. I remember what happened when the SANDF general went to Iran last year, and the presidency wasn't happy with that because of the political statements that were made at the time. Do you think that's potentially what we're dealing with here? Because this is not the first time that we sort of deal with a matter of discipline in the force. And is there a breakdown of relationship between the Minister of Defense and some of the generals? Because last year she defended, first of all, she condemned what the SANDF general, the political statements he made in Iran, and then the minister flip-flopped a week later and said, no, there's nothing wrong with what he did, which then raises the questions around just what's happening in that department.
Look, it's a matter that we would try to establish as the Portfolio Committee once we have received a report of the Board of Inquiry, which is established by the Minister, in terms of what is the depth of the relationship between the Executive Authority and the Military Command Council of our Republic, because we would not want a situation where there is a discord between the two, because the Constitution puts it very clear that we need a disciplined military force, and secondly, it's very clear that in Section 200 that the relationship in terms of civilian military relations needs to be a professional one. Now, by professional, we mean that none of us who's a subject of the Republic and the authority of the Republic can speak outside our foreign policy, which is a purview of international relations and cooperation, DIRCO. Now, DIRCO is very clear that we are busy on a process to reset our relations with other nations after we were plunged with 30% tariff. We are engaging as part of resetting so that 500,000 South Africans who relies on U.S. companies who have invested through jobs in our country, they don't end up without their jobs as a result of disinvestments or sanctions or whatever, economic sabotage or economic hitman. So whoever who speaks, whether a general or an official of government, needs to understand our foreign policy. And I think DIRCO will have to come in as a mentor to assist most of our senior officials in government to understand what is our national interest, what is our foreign policy, because everybody's shooting from the hip, but to the detriment of South Africans, because even some of the nations we vulgarize and bastardize, we don't have the military capacity in case they are to attack us. So we can't be playing with our foreign policy, and we can't be gambling with the lives of South Africans, because we know how bullish are some of these powerful nations and how offensive and arrogant they are, and sometimes even they can be very fascist and Nazist. And some of us, they may just easily treat us like children of a lesser God and just attack us for no reason, because somebody in some military position became reckless and the whole nation has to be set up for wrong reasons. And I don't think it's appropriate. We need to allow DIRCO to lead on foreign policy and national interest. And our military officials, let them stay on their lane and do their work, which is expected in terms of subsection 2 of section 200 of the Constitution, to protect the nation, the people, the territorial integrity, and ensure that our sovereignty is not undermined, including by the criminal element, as we see in Madanga Commission and Zondo Commissions.
All right. Dakota Legoete, thank you so much for making time for us. The chairperson of Parliament's Defence Committee, as you can hear, they're saying these generals must stay in their lane. Because sometimes it does feel like that. It feels like they're generals that may, ideologically lean towards a particular side, which then contradicts, our foreign policy. I mean, when you look at what even the SANDF general said in Iran when he visited there, DIRCO was consistently trying to say we need to be careful with our messaging outside. Foreign policy is the jurisdiction of DIRCO. That is the department that we look to. You don't go to other countries and you start talking and you are jumping the line and you start having conversations about other issues of our foreign policy when you know that's the ambit of DIRCO. So it is a bit concerning. It's quite scary that if the commander-in-chief, if the army generals cannot take instructions from the commander-in-chief, if truly that instruction was issued, then we're in trouble. That is the commander-in-chief. When we talk about the discipline in the force, that is the one instruction from their commander-in-chief that they have to follow regardless.
Hanging out with Clement
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.